Hey, Lincoln Trail. This is another one of the Blue STEM nominees for next year. It's called Ambrose Deception. And I'm going to read the summary and a couple short chapters so you can get a taste of what this is about. It is by Emily Ecton. It says, Melissa is a nobody. Wilf is a slacker. Bondi is a show-off. At least that's what their middle school teachers think. To everyone's surprise, they're the 3 students chosen to compete for a $10,000 scholarship, solving clues that lead them to various locations around Chicago. At first, the 3 contestants work independently, but it doesn't take long before they each begin to wonder whether the competition is a sham. It's only by secretly joining forces and using their unique talents that the trio is able to uncover the truth behind the Ambrose deception, a truth that involves a lot more than a scholarship. So the first couple chapters, first chapter at Morton Middle School. The transaction took less than a minute. The red-haired girl slid a completed worksheet across the table to a boy with a Blackhawk shirt. She didn't look up, and the boy didn't pause. He slid the worksheet into his book, dropped $5 onto the table. The girl palmed the $5 without taking her eyes off her book. Neither of them noticed the 2 men watching from the corner of the library. They didn't notice the stocky man who gave a nod. They didn't even notice the tall man snap a picture. Chapter 2, The Noise Central. The kid with the bouncy step paused as he turned the corner of the hallway. A large bully was in the process of trying to stuff a small boy into a smaller locker with very little success. Neither the stuffer nor the stuffee noticed the new arrival. They didn't even notice the 2 men watching from the doorway. After only a moment of hesitation, the bouncy kid continued on his way, whistling loudly, seemingly oblivious to the scene. He was also oblivious to the bully's books balancing on the trash can. The bully paused and stuffed this kid, and his stuffing of the kids got closer. Not your problem, Johnson. The kid nodded. Of course not. Wouldn't dream of interrupting. But you do realize you have an audience. He nodded to the men in the doorway. What? The bully loosened his grip and looked awkward to peer over his shoulder, giving the small boy victim a chance that he needed to wrench free and escape. Ah, tough break, Johnson said, making a sad face while slapping the bully on the back and walking, pausing only to casually hip-check the trash can as he passed by. The bully's books teetered precariously and then fell in with a squishy thud and an unappetizing mass of discarded food. The stocky man in the shadows smiled to himself and nodded. The tall man with him snapped a picture just as the kid bounced off down the hallway. At Southern Academy. At the school office, the secretary rushed forward to greet her 2 visitors. She stepped carefully over the feet of a sniveling boy seated at the door. His legs, which seemed long for his body, spilled awkwardly in the traffic area. She used both her hands to shake the hands of the stocky man. We're honored to have you here today, sir, she added. Not at all, said the stocky man. She wasn't looking at her. She was looking at the sniffly boy, cracking his knuckles and blew hair out of his face. The school secretary frowned and scanned the paperwork. Now, I think you're all set. You should have everything. Oh, I forgot, your badges. She stepped back over the boy's feet, leaned across the front counter, knocking a pad of tardy slips onto the floor, and without a word, hardly seeming to move, the boy stretched out his long arm and pocketed all of them. The stocky man cleared his throat, raised an eyebrow at the tall man, and discreetly, the tall man snapped a picture. Here you are, the school secretary proudly handed out 2 name badges. The stocky man smiled at her and shook his head. Won't be necessary, ma'am. We have all that we need. So that was a taste of the Ambrose Deception, one of the nominees for this year's Blue STEM Award. I hope you have a chance to get to the library when they reopen, perhaps take a look at the Monarch or Blue STEM nominees for this coming year. The Blue STEM ones were listed last week because those watching are third, fourth, or fifth now, so they'll be fourth or fifth next year, and you guys will be blue stem or on to junior high. Oh, golly jeepers, I miss you guys already, and I'm going to miss you so much this summer. So I hope you guys keep reading. Know that you are loved and missed, and hopefully I'll see all of you next year.